Jessii Vee, and what do you think of my new backdrop? I feel like this is probably the goofiest backdrop that I've had in a while, but I love it. It's literally astronaut dinosaurs just floating around. That's why some are upside down, some are right side up. You could really face this backdrop any way, and it works. I hope it's not too distracting because it is very colorful, but that's why I was drawn to it. All right, so before we get into this video, which is going to be about a very creepy, real animatronic, this story will blow your mind. If Chuck E. Cheese stuff freaks you out, this will freak you out more. Before I get into it though, because I have a new backdrop, that means I'll be announcing the winner of last month's backdrop. To enter to win that, you had to go on Instagram and send me your favorite flower emoji. And the winner is Angelico. Congratulations. And they sent the rose emoji as their favorite emoji. So anyone watching that would like to win this month's backdrop, our dinosaur astronauts, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, turn on your notification bell, and then head over to my Instagram. It is Jessii Vee, give it a follow, and send me a DM telling me what you would name your own personal planet if you were an alien. You can name it absolutely anything you want. I think I would name mine something really interesting like Unusual Unessa. I don't even know what that means, but I like it as a planet name. Alright guys, that's all you have to do to enter to win, and I'll be announcing the winner in a few weeks. By the way, I know when you're watching this, it's technically not July yet. I was way too anxious to put this backdrop up. By the way, does anyone remember the show that I'm wearing that's on this shirt? Do you guys remember Winx Club? Winx Club was like my favorite show ever. My sister and I loved it. I think it came out in the early 2000s, so maybe not everyone remembers, but it was the bomb. It was so funny because when I was getting ready for today's video, Ty came up and he was like,
"Are those flying Barbies on your shirt? Are they like fairy Barbies?"
And I was like, no, it's the Winx Club. Anyways guys, let's get into today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about a very creepy animatronic called Uncle Klunk. But before I could talk about who he is, I have to go into the history of where he comes from. So he originated from a restaurant called Showbiz Pizza Place. Showbiz Pizza Place was a restaurant chain which was very popular in the 1980s, and its main competitor was Chuck E. Cheese's. And both of those companies found early success mostly due to the rise in popularity of arcade games at the time. And the basic concept was to offer pizza, a large selection of arcade games, and an animatronic stage show as a complete package of food and entertainment. And the largest difference between the two restaurants, and the easiest way to distinguish the two chains, was the different animatronics and mascots that they used. The mascot for Showbiz Pizza Place was this character named Billy Bob, who was basically a hillbilly bear, and you all know that Chuck E. Cheese's was a mouse. And Showbiz Pizza went out of business in 1992, and most of the locations were actually converted into Chuck E. Cheese's. So I guess in the end, technically Chuck E. Cheese actually won. But like I said, today I really wanted to talk about a creepy animatronic that was at Showbiz Pizza Place that still haunts adults to this day. So as you ate your pizza at this restaurant, there would be an animatronic show on stage, and they named this band the Rock-afire Explosion. I have no idea why they chose that name, but honestly it sounds kind of awful. And the band's characters were originally these various anthropomorphized animals, including a brown bear, a gray wolf, and a silverback gorilla. And they performed all kinds of things: classic rock, pop, country. They would even do these comedy skits sometimes. And this was actually quite successful for some reason. But one day they decided that they didn't just want to have animals in the band. They wanted to add a human-looking animatronic. And they named him Uncle Klunk. Uncle Klunk was a very strange character and was described by people as an abomination in the shows. He was designed to be one of the most sophisticated animatronics ever made at the time. He had nearly twice the amount of movements that the other animatronics had. He could actually pick up a telephone, he could grab a banana from a conveniently placed fruit basket, and less than 50 Uncle Klunks were ever produced, which meant that not every store received one. The idea was for Klunk to be a traveling character appearing for a few months in a particular location and later being removed and placed in another store. And like I said, he had such a mixed reaction from people. Some kids thought he was terrifying, others just thought he ruined the show they were so used to, and they described his voice as sounding like Walt Disney's Goofy character. And after some time of customers saying they didn't like him, they thought it would be a great idea to turn him into Santa Claus and thought that people wouldn't notice, because obviously they didn't want to waste the animatronics that they had just made. So they changed his clothes, they put a beard on him, and as you can see, he looks just as creepy. Now, after the restaurant went out of business, they just didn't know know what to do with him. So they decided to create a project called Orwell, a robot you control, which basically took the retired Klunk animatronic, renamed them Orwell, and removed all of the skin and clothing to reveal the mechanics underneath. He was then placed in this game room where people could press different buttons on a panel, and it would trigger him to do different movements, kind of teaching kids how animatronics work. But honestly, he looks even more terrifying here. I feel like they took Uncle Klunk, and every time they try and reinvent him, it's worse and worse. Another project involving Uncle Klunk was the creation of a new character named Uncle Pappy, and he looked exactly like Klunk, only he was wearing a pair of glasses, he had this ginormous beard, he had a blacked out tooth, he was wearing overalls, and he was also placed in this strange showroom, and he would just like sing songs to children. And once again, just like the whole Santa Claus thing, it was so obvious that this new character was still Uncle Klunk underneath. He was just in disguise once again. It's almost like you can never escape him, which is so creepy. And if you go online nowadays, people are auctioning off different body parts of his, and they're all rusted and broken and don't work anymore. For example, I saw this listing of someone trying to sell his arm for $1,700, and it was sold. Someone bought that. And then I found another one that was selling just his hand for $100, which honestly isn't that bad. Like, I probably would have bought it if it didn't sell. But I found this creepy story of someone that bought just his head at an estate sale, and he took it home and placed it on a shelf in his office, and then he kind of just forgot about it after some time. Well, one day he began hearing this strange clicking noise in his office, and he thought that maybe his computer was acting up, but he looked everywhere, he couldn't find the source. And this noise went on for weeks, and it was driving him crazy. And at some point, he finally decided to look up at his shelves over his computer, and he finally found what was causing this very annoying sound. It was Uncle Klunk's eyes repeatedly opening and closing, as if he had been watching him the entire time. That is terrifying to me. I don't know if that's sort of like a creepypasta about Uncle Klunk, or if that actually happened, because maybe his head still had like batteries and it was still operating. I don't know, but that's terrifying. Anyway, so guys, that is all I'm gonna be talking about for Uncle Klunk today, but there are so many feared animatronics all around the world. I could do a whole series about this, so if you want me to do that, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. And don't forget, if you would like to win this new backdrop, all you have to do is be subscribed and go follow my Jessii Vee Instagram and send me what you would name your own personal planet in space. Oh, and I'm also wearing the new mermaid necklace that we have on the website. I will link this down below as well, but I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!